Most people think retirement means knitting sweaters and feeding pigeons. But not Grandma Nina. She wasn't your average grandma. She didn't bake cookies, she didn't knit, and she didn't believe in bingo. She believed in numbers, compound interest, loopholes, tax codes. Nina loved rules not because she followed them, but because she loved finding ways around them. Before retirement, she had worked 45 years as a bank clerk. Quiet, polite, invisible. But behind those glasses and cardigans was a mind sharper than a diamond blade. She knew how the banking system worked, where the cracks were, where the money really flowed, and more importantly, how to manipulate it without ever breaking a law. She used to say, "I never cheat. I just use the system exactly the way it's written, unlike the people who wrote it." The idea one evening, after overcooking her soup and watching yet another commercial about debt relief and banking apps, something clicked in Nina's head. She sat back, stirred her soup absent-mindedly, and whispered to herself, "They're automating stupidity." Banks were replacing people with bots, smart systems, dumb execution. Nina had noticed that some banks offered high interest rates for new customers only. But there was a loophole, one they never expected anyone like her to find. She opened 5 new accounts at 5 different online banks. Then, using a series of small transfers and alias accounts, registered under her legal middle names, all valid, all traceable, she rotated her money every 29 days to always qualify as a new depositor. It wasn't illegal. It was just unusual. But the real trick: she used AI-driven loan bots, the kind that didn't ask too many questions, to take out small loans at 0 interest for 90 days, then move the funds into short-term high-yield accounts before returning the loans just in time. Over and over again. Small amounts at first, then bigger. In less than a year, Grandma Nina had made $487,000 in pure interest. And the banks? They didn't even notice. Or if they did, the system couldn't understand how a 78-year-old woman with a pension could consistently beat their algorithms. One flagged her account, but she called their helpline, and in her sweetest voice said, "Oh dear, I just move money around to feel useful." They believed her. The dream car. Now, there was one thing Nina had always dreamed of owning: a 1959 Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz convertible, seafoam green, white leather seats, tail fins like rocket ships. She had a photo of it on her fridge for 34 years. So when her bank balance crossed $1 million, after converting crypto into stocks and then into gold just for fun, she told her neighbor, "I think I'll go buy a cabriolet today." She found the exact car at an auction in Arizona. When she arrived, the auctioneer didn't even take her seriously at first. A tiny old woman with a handbag full of ginger candies and a voice like a hummingbird. But when bidding started, she raised her number confidently and kept raising it. $60,000, $80,000, $120,000. Sold to the lady with the pearls. The crowd clapped. She simply nodded and walked out like a queen. Life after riches. Nina didn't buy a mansion. She stayed in her modest home with a creaky porch swing and garden full of wildflowers. She still went to the same grocery store, still used coupons. "It's not about saving money," she'd say. "It's about beating the system." But every Sunday, she'd put on her favorite sunglasses, wrap a scarf around her silver curls, and drive her convertible along the coast with jazz blasting from the speakers. Children waved. Teenagers filmed her. People started calling her the crypto granny or the bank whisperer online. One day, a young banker came to interview her, asking, "What's your secret?" She leaned in, smiled, and said, "I just paid attention while the rest of the world was busy swiping left and scrolling memes." Eventually, a financial firm offered to pay her just to lecture their teams about system design flaws. She declined. "I'm retired," she said. "Besides, if I told you everything, You'd just fix it. In the end, Grandma Nina became a local legend. Not because she was rich, but because she proved that age doesn't mean you stop thinking, dreaming, or outsmarting systems built by people half your age. And every time someone asked her what she did with all that money, she'd grin and reply, "I bought a dream, and then I drove it."